Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the MS Option Set 8 and SAU Mobile Worker. So again, thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this set to check out and share with you guys. This is a pretty interesting set for a few reasons. We get some more open hands, which is always nice. This is, I think, maybe the third set that will include some open expressive hand options for a particular mobile suit. The first one was for the Barbatos Lupus, then for the Vidar, and then now for the Reginlaze Julia. Whereas the past versions, I think those, you could actually use them with other mobile suits aside from the ones that they were kind of meant for. With these are really specific to the Reginlaze Julia, and you're really only going to be able to use, or sorry, Reginlaze, I should say. These are only really going to be able to be used for the Reginlaze just because of the unique hand designs of that kit and kind of how these are. So you'll see that. I'll show you those on the kit in a moment. The rest of the stuff is pretty much universal. You can use for quite a lot of different things. The big shield, big spiked shield there is actually supposed to be meant for the Geirail, but again, you could use that with any other HGIBA kit that uses the same shoulder joint connection part for the shoulder armor. And then the other weapons are all just handheld weapons that you could use for any kit that has hands, which is pretty much all of them, I guess. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff here, and also I'll be showing you all of this stuff on individual kits that it's sort of like kind of meant for, but again, you can use them pretty much with anything. So let me just go through and show you all these parts one by one. So for the SAU Mobile Worker, it's a kind of pretty derpy looking tank, but I don't know, maybe it's got some charm, maybe some people are into that. This kind of gun here on the side doesn't move at all, that's just fixed. The only articulation that it has, like with the other tanks in the option sets, is that it just rotates here at the top. On the bottom, no kind of plug-in point there for plugging this onto an action base if you want. You'd have to make that yourself, so that's kind of disappointing. That seems like something simple that they could just put on there, just make a molded detail of a circle there so you can actually plug this onto an action base. I don't really know if that's something really a lot of people are going to want to do. I think if you want to actually have some diorama or something where this is like actually flying through the air or something, then obviously just building a little stand for that is not the most difficult thing if you're going to go to the work of building a diorama. But anyway, that's the mobile worker. Alright, next for the variable mace. Now we do have two of these. So here's when it's folded up and it's kind of compact mode. It's just basically two parts there for like the main body, one part there for this piece that folds out like that. It is hollow on the inside, unfortunately. It just folds out to there. It's just like a 90-degree turn there. And then it has like this part of the handle which is supposed to fold out, but you basically just have to just turn that. So once it's in its extended form, sorry, I can't really see what I'm doing here. It's going to be like that when you'll actually hold it in the hand, and then this fold it out like that. So it really looks like more of like a tool, but yeah, so that will just fold up like that, and then you can store this. And then we have these two connectors. So these are for storing the weapons on a backpack. So you can just stick these onto here and just stick them onto the back of your Barbatos Lupus or whatever other kit you want to use them for. So for the variable maces here, I think they're a really cool weapon, but they're like I said, they look very much like tools. So it's a bit odd. I mean, the Barbatos Lupus has, or just the Barbatos Mikazuki in the show has been known to use just the tools, as we saw with the wrench mace in the first season. But I think these would look much better with the different mobile suit. I think they're just pictured with the Barbatos just because I think probably Bandai expected that pretty much anything with the Barbatos on the box art would have a better chance of selling than something else that's not the Barbatos. But personally, I would rather give these weapons to something like maybe like the EO Frame Shiden or something like that, a more kind of grunty kind of mobile suit that seemed like it would be much more appropriate using like a tool weapon more than the Barbatos, which looks better using just more sort of like a grandiose kind of weapon, something more like its sword mace or just the large railgun or something like that, even that. But yeah, anyway, just my own personal point of view, but it's cool that we have the connection pieces as well. You can attach them onto the backpack or whatever. So pretty cool. Next we've got the open expressive hands for the Reginlaze. Now these are nice, they're pretty pretty nicely designed and nicely shaped, and we do have these will actually rotate on this like circular shape there, so you can actually kind of change the rotation of them if you want to do that. It looks maybe a little bit strange, but these are just going to attach into the Reginlaze arms. So yeah, just a reminder that these hands don't connect like usual hands where they just like connect by a ball joint into the like end of the forearm, but these actually connect like in like the middle of the forearm, so that piece of green armor there at the end of the forearm, that's actually around this part of the new hand. So a little bit more unique, which means that these hands won't really be able to be used with pretty much any other kit, which is unfortunate, but they look good for this kit, and this is a really nice kit despite having some kind of small issues that I think maybe other people have also covered as well. But overall, this is a kit that looks really, really great. So anything to just help it look even more cool is very welcome. So yeah, these are some pretty nice open hands that we get with this set. So these next few things are kind of meant for the Geirail, but again can be used for pretty much anything. So first we have this very large land mace, which is just this really big pickaxe here, if I can keep a handle on it. This is just two pieces. We just have the main part for the head, and then just the handle just plugs into there like that. So pretty simple design, but a very interesting, kind of more unique weapon. It's almost like a scythe. And then we have the pickle, which is just basically a smaller version of that, which is just like a very simple pickaxe. This has just like the normal rectangle handle, where this one has a more circular one, obviously, just a rod there. So if you remember, we had those connections I mentioned. We had these little connector parts that you can use for the variable mace. You can also use this for the pickle. So if you wanted to connect the pickle onto the back of your Barbatos or Geirail or whatever, you can use that for that. However, these connectors won't work for the land mace. It's just too big. It doesn't connect onto that as anywhere. I believe maybe some other connections, and I think I have this here. Here on the back of my Barbatos is the connector for the sword mace, and I believe that should have the same size handle. So yeah, if you just use the same connection piece that you have for the sword mace, you can use that to carry the land mace there if you want. So just a heads up on that. And then we have the claw shield. So this is pretty cool. Some nice detail there to replicate the detail that's just that's normally on the top of the shoulder of the Geirail. And then on the inside we have this handle. So this handle piece, you can have it set like here, like that. Or you can change this, pull that off, and then set it this way so that it's sticking out like that. So you have two different options for that handle, or you can just do completely without the handle if you want. And this is with the claws extended. Some pretty nice shape for these claws. If you want to have them not extended, you just pull them off and then just reattach them in there like that on the inside of the shield. So, but I've found, and I'm probably going to struggle with it here again, once you put those inside like that, they're a little bit trickier to get off. But then pretty easy to just set out like that. So for mounting this onto the Geirail, just pull off its shoulder armor here. That kind of disintegrated in my hand, but and then so you can see a lot of the mobile suits in Iron Blood Orphans use this kind of shoulder connection. So pretty much any of the grazes for sure. So you can put this, just pop it on there, and there you go. So you can see that the top is going to match that, and now we have the claw shield, which gives us sets us part of the way to making a Scharfrichter Geirail. The rest of the parts that we need for that will be coming in the next option set, where we'll have the different flying saucer head, and then I believe there's a different skirt armor or something like that as well. So alright. So one thing that I really love here about the land mace, and I definitely got to give Bandai credit for this, is that they made the handle plenty long so that holding it in two hands is very easy and comfortable, and you can get the mobile suit in a nice dynamic pose with a nice wide grip on that handle with two hands, because the handle is nice and plenty of length to do that. So that's good. Making that too short just really would have been disappointing. Overall, though, I mean, like the hollow space, like underneath the head of the land mace is a little bit unsightly, I think. But you know, hollow spaces in option sets has been pretty common. The shield, the claw shield, looks pretty cool. It's a kind of unique thing. Of course, it is in all gray. It's not technically the correct colors of what it should be for making the Scharfrichter grays. It should be more like a yellowish tan color. But again, going to be pretty easy to just repaint that, so not really too big of a deal. Overall, I like these weapons. That giant pick is something so odd and unique. It definitely has a lot of charm to it, and it definitely still looks like a pretty cool weapon, so I like it. And just a little heads up, you know these connection pieces that we get for these weapons in HGIBA and Blood Orphans? That size fits into the petite guy hands. So, you know, just saying. So once again, another really nice Iron Blood Orphans option set that we have here. Some pretty cool weapons that, again, you don't have to use with Iron Blood Orphans kits. If you don't want to, you can use them with plenty of other things. Some of them are very specific. You do have to actually use with really specific kits, like the case with the claw shield there. But of course, with a little bit of modification, you could use any of this stuff with pretty much anything. So that's pretty cool. I think even that large land mace, just because of how large it is, you could probably use that with some 1/100 scale mobile suits, especially some smaller ones like 1/100 scale master grade like crossbone or master grade wing kits or something like that. You could definitely use that for those kits. But anyway, just saying, a lot of nice options that we have with this stuff. The thing about these option sets is, like, if you don't, like, if you only want like maybe one thing, maybe you only wanted that land mace out of this set, then, you know, I don't know, you're paying like 600 yen, whatever, just for that one thing. But on the flip side, you're getting a whole lot of extra stuff that then you can use for, you know, whatever else your imagination can come up with. So yeah, I like this set, and I'm looking forward to the next set as well. That'll be a pretty interesting one as well, so we'll see that soon enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, as always, just leave those down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.